Welcome to Joe's Math Tools, where math is made easy. In this session, this is part 1 on how to convert our decimal number in the hundredths position into a percentage. So if you're ready, let's get started. When converting a decimal number into a percentage, remember that your percentage is always out of 100. So this means to convert our decimal number in the hundredths position into a percentage, we're simply going to multiply to 100%. And this is the quickest and easiest method which you can use to convert your decimal number in the hundredths position into a percentage. Okay, so now let's begin. We're going to be multiplying our 100% times our 0.17. And 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 0 again is 0. 7 times 1 will be 7. We're going to add a 0 and begin multiplying by our 1. So 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. And 1 times 1 is 1. So now our last digit is our 0. We're adding 2 zeros. And we know that everything that we multiply to 0 will automatically be 0. So I'm just going to put in my 3 zeros for that 0. Now let's sum our numbers together. So our zeros when added to 0 will be 0. 7 added to 0 is 7. 1 added to 0 is 1. And we're going to bring down our last 0. So now because we are working with decimal numbers, remember that we always go back, count the amount of digits behind our decimal point, and then input those decimal points in our answer. So in 100, we have 0 digits behind the decimal point. In 1700ths, we have 2 digits behind the decimal point. So in total, in our answer, we should have 2 digits behind the decimal point. So we'll count 1, 2, and add in our decimal point. So my decimal number 1700ths as a percentage is simply 17%. Let's try another example. Feel free at this point to pause the video, convert your decimal number into a percentage, and then when you're ready, you can unpause the video and work along with me. Okay, so now let's begin our multiplication. So we have 100% times our 2100ths. So 1 times 0 is 0. So I'm going to put in my 2 zeros, and 1 times 1 is 1. Adding our 0, begin multiplying by our 2. And again, everything times 0 is going to be 0. So I'll put in a 0 for my first 0, a 0 for my second 0, and 2 times 1 is 2. So we're adding in our 2 zeros before we begin multiplying by our 0. And again, everything times 0 is 0. So for my 3 digits, I will just put in my 3 zeros. Let's sum our numbers together. 0 plus zeros will be 0. 1 plus 0 will be 1. 2 plus 0 is 2. And we're going to bring down that last 0. So going back to put in our decimal point. So 100 has 0 digits behind the decimal point. 2100 has 2 digits behind the decimal point. And in total, we should have 2 digits behind our decimal point. So we're going to count 1, 2, input our decimal point, and my decimal number 2100 as a percentage is 21%. Okay, so that was very easy, very straightforward, and very simple. So I hope this was able to help you on converting a decimal number into percentage. And remember, this is just one method I'm showing you so far. I will show you another method in a different video. You know, I don't like mixing my methods too much together in the same video. So I'll show you a different method using the exact same numbers on how you can change decimal numbers into percentage. So make sure that you get some practice in, develop your skills, and until next time, this is Joe's Math Tools, where we make math easy.